Hey guys, I'm IT Nate from claytrader.com. Today we're going to talk about networking and what you actually need in your house in terms of networking to get you on the internet and able to trade. So basically, the problem is, what equipment do you need to get to your computer in your house connected to the internet, and what is the best solution to do that? Starting right off the bat, the best thing you could possibly do is to have it hardwired. Hands down, if you can run a cable from your computer to your router or your modem, that's going to be the best. You're not going to have any kind of interference or issues with that like you would with wireless. And if you're going to be doing any kind of short-term day trading, scalping, that type of stuff, something like Clay does, you're going to be hardwired, because 1 or 2 seconds of interconnectivity between you and your internet connection could cost you the trade. So that's going to be the best, hands down, solution: run a cable. But a lot of people don't have that possibility or have that ability. So what do you do next? Well, you get a wireless router, right? You go down to Best Buy and you pick up a $70 Linksys or Netgear wireless router. You plug it in, you go through the process of setting it up and plug it in the CD or whatever it has you do. And you get decent signal, right? You kind of get a signal throughout your house. It gets the job done, right? It's fine for watching movies on Netflix. It's fine for streaming some videos or playing some games online, whatever. That works just fine, right? But what happens when you need reliability? A lot of times these devices from like that are only 70 or 80 bucks, whatever, A, they're hard to set up, and B, they're not really that reliable. You can have problems where you get no connectivity and you have to go reboot the router, or everything just slows down, or it's problems like that, right? Or if you have a bigger house, you don't get signal everywhere. So you plug your router in, or your wireless router in, where your telephone or your cable line comes in, right? Usually in the corner of the basement of your house, right? In your utility room or whatever. It's not really a very good place for it. You really want it in the middle of your house. So what are your other options, right? So you still have that one option. You can stick with that simple router from Best Buy or whatever. And if you need to extend the range, you can get a range extender or another wireless access point. You can put that somewhere else in your house, and you can try and connect up to it and get it connected to your wireless and repeat the signal and whatever. It works, but it's not really that great. What's come out in the last couple of years, and it's kind of a big deal, is called the mesh wireless network, or mesh networks, or whatever you want to call it, mesh wireless networks. This is a Google Wi-Fi mesh network device. And basically the way it works is you buy a package of, they come in sets of 1 or 3. I guess one's not really a set, but you can get them by the piece, or you can get them in a package of 3. Typically you buy them as a set of 3, and you get 3 of these little guys. And basically how it works is you plug one of these guys in, hardwired. There's some ports here on the bottom. You plug one of these guys in where your modem is, where your cable or your DSL or whatever it is modem is, and then you get a couple more of these and you scatter them throughout your house. And then they communicate with each other wirelessly. So this guy talks to the other 2 or 3 or 10 or 15 or however many of them you have in your house, and they all create what they call a mesh network. And the mesh network is so much better than the typical network, A, because you get better coverage. Not only you're having one central point of access, but they're spread apart the whole house, and you're going to get a much better signal from that. And then that versus using something like a repeater is all these devices talk to each other, so they know what the other one's doing. So not only is there upstream communication, there's also downstream communication. So all these devices know what any of the other ones are doing. If you unplug one of them, the other ones will still keep working as long as they're still within range of each other. And everything just works beautifully. They're super reliable. It's basically a no-brainer, really. The problem is these things are expensive. It's like 250 bucks for a set of 3 of these things. So you can just buy one of them if you want and just kind of add more down the road as you go. Pretty simple. But the best thing about these things is they're super easy to set up. I don't know if you've gone through a wireless network setup before or not, but those ones from Linksys and TrendNet and whatever, they're kind of a pain. You got to plug them in, and you got to hook your computer to them, and you got to go to a web browser and ask you all these questions you don't actually know the answers to, and you just kind of fake it and you hope it works when you're done, right? You don't know if the security is right. You don't know if your neighbor can get in and view all of your family photos or whatever. With this guy, it's an app on your phone. So if you have a Google or an Android or an iOS phone, you simply download the Google Wi-Fi app. You open it up, you plug one of these guys in, and says, hey, look, I found the Google Wi-Fi. And you want me to set it up? And you say, yep. And you just answer a few little questions, and it goes right through it. And then if you have to add more of these devices, so if you have more than just one, you plug them in. It says, oh, hey, I found another one. You want me to set that one up too? Yep, do it. So the setup on these things is super simple. Pretty much anybody that doesn't know anything about technology, as long as they know how to use a smartphone, can figure out how to use one of these guys. The other downfall, other than price, that I've seen with these things is they don't have a whole lot of ports on them. So I don't know how well you can see this, but there's really just 2 ports here. So there's one to plug into your modem, and there's one to plug into another computer or device. So if you only have one or no wired computers in your house, that's fine. You're all set to go. Everything runs off of wireless, and that's great. However, if you do have some wired computers in your house and you do have more than just one, you're going to need something like this, and this is called a switch. Basically what this does is it turns that one port into however many more you need. So this is an 8-port switch. You can get 4-port switch, you can get 15-port, 16-port, you can get 24 or 48, however many you need. You probably don't need 48, that's probably a little overkill for your house, but you can get as many as you need, and then basically just this switch plugs right into your one port on here and gives you some more ports. So it's pretty basic, pretty straightforward, and that just gives you some more ports on that. So my recommendation for a home network for trading, first, run a hardwire. If you can run a hardwire, none of this other stuff matters. Just plug it into your modem or whatever router you got, and you're good to go. If you can't run a hardwire or don't want to run a hardwire or want something better for using your laptops and your cell phones and stuff, I strongly recommend you get one of these guys. Whether it's Google Wi-Fi or there's a million other name brands out there in the past. I've used Google Wi-Fi. This is what Clay runs in his house. He loves it. Hasn't had any problems with it since we set it up probably almost a year ago now. So this is my recommendation. There's links for this and there's links for the switches and some other stuff down in the description. So if you have any questions, check out those links or just shoot us a line, drop a comment, whatever, and we will definitely check those out. If you have any other technology questions, let us know. We're making lots of these videos, so let me know what your questions are, and I will do my best to answer those questions and hopefully give you some value out of learning what technology works best for you and what works best for trading. So thank you. Have a great day.